Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for MATIC. Now, I spent the last day and a half just re-going over all my counts, all the intricacies, looking for the most probable thing to happen next. So there's going to be a lot of updates today. But I just wanted to start off with MATIC because there is a potential here very shortly. And starting from our high back here in December is where I wanted to start from. I've gone over everything and I've relabeled this as a wave 1, as either the wave 1 of a C wave or the start of a larger impulse. So it fits best just based on the amount of time this is taken over here. If you remember previously we had this as a flat. It makes more sense obviously now that wave 1 ended up here, and this is actually a diagonal, even though it's quite odd. There is the new rules where we don't need overlap between the wave 1 and the fourth. I just didn't like to lean into that as probable in this one, which is why I had the flat to begin with. But based on how long this is taking, the fact we didn't get the move we wanted here, if it was a running flat, it's not looking like a 5 wave, so it's most likely not a expanded flat anymore. So those are the reasons I have relabeled this as a wave 1. Now going back to the smaller time frames, have this as a wave, B wave, and we're working on 5 waves down for our C. And we're channeling nicely here in this trend channel. Wanted to show you the fib levels, and this is why I've leaned into this count, just because everything's lining up to this area. So first we have our 1-to-1 extension for our A off our B at 64.70. We line up with the 618 of the wave 1 up on the larger time frame at 66.77, and you can see our extensions very nicely. We had our wave 1, 2, third wave just came just past this 1.618 extension. You can see there in green. This fourth is either complete or working on itself. It might break this channel slightly. Fourth waves do that sometimes, just very slightly as a fake out. I don't want to obviously go past the 50 at 78.36 and then come down between the 200 and the 2.236, which is 65.22 and 67.38, and potentially tag that 1-to-1 before an attempt at a reversal. So you can see everything lines up very nicely in this area. So I've actually, it's not financial advice, but I actually just bought some spot MATIC myself to add for my spot portfolio, because there is an option this is complete. But I'm okay with drawing down into this area. Stops at the 786 of this for my spot at 58.40, in which case I'd switch probabilities to the downside. But yeah, it's looking really good. You can see our fib extensions are hitting very nicely. We have this huge area of confluence. If we did go up from here and break the 50, I would relabel this as a WXY. That's the only difference. I always talk about that in my videos. We get 3 waves rather than 5, which is why I started to buy in spot here. I'm not leveraged by any means, but just spot for the long run. So it's looking good. So one thing to keep in mind in the future, even though we have this labeled as a 1-2, is if Bitcoin is on an A wave working on a B on the larger trend, this could also fail at its breakout. So I am expecting some relief to the upside after this move or from here. But say Bitcoin gets its nice jump, this could all turn into an A wave, and then we get a C wave down after the fact. So that's how we will attempt a rally. We'll see if we can make higher highs, but a lot depends obviously on Bitcoin because it'll make everything bleed, right? So that's what I'm looking at for MATIC. It's looking nice for a long trade very shortly if it doesn't pivot from here, and looking for new to all-time highs or this correction to get bigger. All right, guys, that's it for MATIC. Thanks for watching. I'm going to update quite a bit today, so stay tuned if you want to see that. Thanks for watching.